So there's a lot of people whose opinions have been expressed over the last 24 hours since the International Criminal Court, ICC, has decided that they are not going to adhere to their ruling that Prime Minister Netanyahu and who was the I think it was like one other person,
Gallant
are war criminals.
What's his name? You have something, I don't know, whatever, something Gallant.
So a lot of people, including Senator Tom Cotton, one of the biggest neocons in all of politics, among other people, who say, I am not going to listen to this. And then, of course, our good friends at the AIPAC Tracker.
Not only that, it's anti-Semitic.
Yes. And if you guys are not following AIPAC Tracker, you definitely want to follow them on Twitter. They will, or X. They are definitely going to inform you as to who is taking all of the Israel lobby money and why they're saying the stupid shit that they're saying.
But here's the thing. We don't need to agree with the arrest warrants being issued for Netanyahu and Gallant.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't need to agree. The whole world agrees. And you know what? It is caving in on Netanyahu for sure. And I would also point out for people who are not aware, and I don't know what happened in terms of like what the technical part of where they are in their trial over there. But apparently he was trying to postpone his trial, his corruption trial that's over there in Israel. And apparently the court said, no, we're going forward. So the walls are closing in on him in a lot of ways.
Well, here's what Karine Jean-Pierre had to say.
And for anyone interested, Karine Jean-Pierre is the 10 of clubs.
Fundamentally reject the court's decision to issue arrest warrants for senior Israel officials. We remain deeply concerned by the prosecutor's rush to seek arrest warrants and the troubling process errors that led to this decision. The United States has been clear that the ICC does not have jurisdiction over this matter. You've heard us say this.
Who the hell are you?
Well, again, she's the 10 of clubs. So she's a spokesperson for genocide. That's who she is. I honestly, it's so, as somebody who went to journalism school and used to like love the idea of being press secretary, and I used to fangirl over Dee Dee Myers and Marlon Fitzwater when I was younger. It's like what these people have become. But the people I knew that were press secretaries when actual journalists existed.
Exactly.
So they would actually have to be accountable and answer questions. Like there were actual printing journalists and network journalists. Because these people have fallen very far. This is like an unbelievable, like literally a stenographer for genocide.
This is even worse because she's doing it from a very agitated disposition. She's like, we reject this. How dare you? It's like.
It's so unfortunate because she's so cute.
Yeah, but nor does that have any relevance if you are doing a shitty job.
I know, but the other guys are so grotesque to look at that it's sort of like their outside matches their inside,
you mean like
Kirby and Miller.
Kirby,
right? So like
Kirby
for them,
especially.
So like their outside matches inside, but it's like she actually looks not.
That's why she. Well, that's the thing. This is the thing that the populist right talks about all the time when it comes to DEI. She can sell empire better than people like her.
Okay, but it isn't for me because she's black and female.
I understand that, but
for me, it's just she's just cute.
But that's the thing
she could be.
I understand that, but I'm saying that's where the validity of the argument about DEI does make sense.
Okay, here. Let's say that the guy who was the spokesperson, instead of Miller or Kirby, it was somebody like a Neil Patrick Harris. And not necessarily even gay, but just somebody very likable, somebody very cool, whatever.
Yeah, he just happens to be gay.
But no, my point is that I would still look at somebody like that and say that they still look good on the outside.
No, I totally understand what you're saying.
She doesn't look evil.
No, well, looks can be deceiving, you know.
I know.
But ultimately,
I know.
When she got this position, all anybody wanted to talk about was how she was black and gay.
I know. She's gay?
Yes. So that's the thing. I don't care what you are. I care. Are you selling empire?
I'm always like the last one. I'm always the last person to know everything because I'm not on social media.
Well, now you know. So we'll continue this treachery.
For whatever this prosecutor might imply, there is no evidence, none, between Israel and Hamas. There's just none. In coordination with partners, including Israel, we are discussing certainly those next steps, what that's going to look like. And to your question about sanctions. That's basically kind of just answered it in that last part of what I said. We're in consultation with our partners and also, which include Israel, about our next steps. We fundamentally reject that the ICC has jurisdiction over this situation.
They can reject that all they want, because if Netanyahu or Gallant find themselves somewhere in like the European Union, they're going to get arrested.
They all are, Donald. You don't get to these levels of positions unless you are pedigreed.
That's what I was going to say. It isn't just that she's educated. It isn't just that she's educated. It's she's properly educated, and she has credentials outside of that as well. It's who you know. It's who your parents know. It's a lot of different variables. It isn't just
educated. As we were talking earlier about Harry Sisson, it's the same thing.
I'm educated.
And listen, I think that
overeducated.
I think that there are things when it comes to Matt Gaetz that you can talk about and say, yeah, that does make a lot of sense, and he is right on X, Y, and Z. But never forget, Matt Gaetz, he's a Nepo baby. His father, Don Gaetz, is one of the most powerful political brokers in the Florida Panhandle.
Which is why when people say, "Oh, he doesn't take PAC money," okay, and I appreciate that he doesn't need.
That's an advantage.
And just so like it's a little bit different when it isn't. It's easy to stand on principle when you have infrastructure. And so that's the thing. So while I do appreciate that he doesn't take corporate money and he's not beholden to specific corporate interests, that it's not out of like. I don't think it's out of altruism.
Well, it's the same thing that we've talked about down here with Mouskowitz. It's the same thing. He's a Nepo baby. He's only there because his father, his late father, was a huge political player down here in South Florida. And he ultimately
bought him a little seat.
Got him into Tallahassee.
Bought him a little seat.
I think he was on the county commission or something like that. And then he got to Congress. And it's a career, baby. Oh, it's a career.
I don't know. He can't. That seat can be.
It could be.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Actually.
Without a psychopath, a Zionist like Kaufman,
well,
you never know.
I honestly, and I kid you not, people. As much as I dislike Jared Moskowitz, he was preferred in that race.
But that's why they have an election every 2 years.
The Republican that was running against him was like a complete Zion-Nazi of like the nth degree, like someone. No.
But the sad truth is, in Florida, we have 28 congressional districts, and not a single one of them is a competitive district. Not one.